Good evening, everyone. Today is May the 16th. Welcome to another episode of my machine learning journey. So this weekend is the Victoria Long Weekend in Canada. I remember around the same time last year, it was around when I started my YouTube videos. So time really flies. Now a year has gone by pretty quickly. And this year in 2020, there's a lot of things has happened, especially this global pandemic right now. Today, I would like to share with you the main thing is a bigger picture of the um, data engineering pipeline. But firstly, I would like to show you a little bit of uh, a few updates in my daily life. So the first one is I have purchased a curved Samsung monitor. So you can see in this picture right now here, it has improved my productivity a lot. Not only because it's curved, it's also because it's bigger. And so therefore, when you have your IDE and your other running windows open, so you can see them on one screen and then update each one very efficiently. And another one thing was that I actually wanted to buy an ultra wide monitor, but even the cheapest ultra wide was out of stock in almost every store. And then this curved one ended up to be roughly doing what I want, but also in an affordable price. So that's what I went to buy in a real store. I ordered online with Best Buy and then went to pick up in the store. So another one is I wanted to share with you was that because nowadays all the gyms are closed, no swimming pool and everything. So I am forced to finally start learning yoga on my own on just by YouTube videos. So I'm actually trying to do before sleep yoga every day, which I found is actually pretty good because it seems that it did improve my sleep quality. So this is something I will recommend that you probably want to try yourself as well. Um, and then, okay, so now let's go to the main theme of today, which is my um, overview of the data engineering pipeline. So um, as you can see, this is a big graph of how the overview of a data engineering pipeline is. So on the most left section, which is all the scattered data sources that you wanna process and integrate. So some of them are in SQL databases, and some of them are like CSVs, NoSQL databases and stuff. And then so what you want to do is you want to bring all these scattered data sources into a data processing uh, pipeline, which is usually powered by Spark or Hive or SSIS and so on. And then finally, these processed integrated data then finally get to go into a destination database or data storage. So a lot of times you also want to automate this whole thing by having them run schedulely. So in this case, then the Apache Airflow can do the work of scheduling the tasks to run at a specific point of time that you want and orchestra the whole pipeline. So I will also like, so this graph is taken from Vincent at DataCamp, which is a good source of learning the fundamental concepts, mostly in data related knowledge. And then I would also like to introduce um, in all of these tasks. So what are the products of Azure Cloud can provide you? Uh, there's no specific reason why for Azure Cloud because any of these products can also be found in Amazon, AWS, or Google Cloud. So these three vendors are the big three vendors nowadays for cloud. Um, so this video is not sponsored by anyone. I just picked Azure Cloud is because it's mostly for enterprises. So for say a lot of banks and government agencies and all those big companies, they actually stick with Microsoft stacks. So for say for any reason that you also encounter Azure Cloud Services, so these are the things that you can leverage. So for example, for data storage and databases purposes in Azure Cloud, there are mostly three choices. So you can use Azure Blob Storage. So this is to store data. So any type, so either CSV or JSON or unstructured data or HDF. So you can go to their documentation. There are there are certain file types it supports with Azure Blob Storage that you can investigate. A good thing is that they also have a Python API for Azure Blob Storage. So you can just, in Python script, automate the whole management of all the tasks that you want to do with blob storage. And the second one is Azure Data Lake. So I guess this one is more scaled data storages. So I have personally, I haven't used Data Lake yet, but I might update you in my later videos of specifically how do you handle Data Lake. I heard that there's the very popular Delta Lake now, which is one more layer on top of Data Lake, which can enhance a lot of the capabilities. And the third one for data base purpose is Azure SQL DB. So this one is instead of a SQL Server on premise. So this is the SQL database on the cloud for Azure. Yeah, they're like all data migration that can help you to migrate your on-premise SQL databases onto the cloud. And then, so for the purpose of data processing, in Azure, you have the more basic of Azure Data Factory. I guess for Azure Data Factory, it's probably Azure's attempt for integration service on the cloud. So I would say it generally is serving the purpose of moving data. And then there's also Azure HD Insight and Azure Databricks and Hive. So these other three things are more for a large data processing to transform data. And then the scheduler and orchestra services in cloud is data flow in Azure Data Factory. So when I was trying to understand the concept of Azure Data Factory, I thought of it as at first as a compute engine. But then when I posted this comment on Twitter, so Microsoft product manager actually replied me on Twitter, and then he said that Azure Data Factory is not uh, a compute engine because you can actually bring your own compute engine uh, to work with Data Factory. I haven't. I want to actually curious how does that work. So he said that Azure Data Factory is actually a microservice on the cloud. So from what I understand, anything service on the cloud would just mean it's an application on the cloud that can actually do things for you. And another thing for Azure Data Factory is that um, it can run Python script. Because why I firstly thought that ADF is a compute engine was because of this sentence that it can run Python script, so it can also run SSIS package. So from what I thought, anything that can run things would be considered as a compute engine. I guess I need to just rethink about this concept again. So because application or service can also run things for you, right? So therefore, it's not necessarily a compute engine. And another thing is that, so ADF, Azure Data Factory, they also built a Python API for it. So therefore, you can use that just like as for Azure Blob Storage, you can use that Python API in your Python script that manage all kinds of ADF tasks. I haven't investigated that function myself yet. After I tried it and experimented, for sure I would update you guys how it works. And I have also created a separate module for this experiment for my future video. So from here, I would like to also show you a new planning tool for my YouTube video recording journey. So I have been using Notion since last year because at my workplace, it's also using Notion for documentation, and I found it pretty handy. Is because you can see that I created this list page, and then I just scheduled all the ideas of videos here by planning them as a weekly video or daily video. And when I click on this one for today's planning, it can also let me decide, okay, whether this task is being completed if I check this check mark, and what day is it scheduled for here. And then another good thing is that when you create things inside, it can let you select all kind of object that you want to add to this page. So so I add another page so it can link to my the module, like a separate object entity, which is today's small module for overview of data engineering pipeline, because I can also write other bigger plans in my original post here, so which is something pretty handy. Another thing is that it can also let you share. So you can decide whether this post can be publicly accessed. So for say when the last one, I actually made it um, able to access from my public website. So that's why when I clicked on it, it just opened in my public blog. So this is my latest update to you. Hopefully you enjoyed it. See you next time. Thanks for watching.